It seems that UFOs have been a much hotter than usual topic in the news lately. I noticed a drastic spike in news coverage of the UFO phenomenon toward the end of 2017, and it doesn't seem to be slowing down in 2018. Needless to say, I am absolutely thrilled about the attention it's been receiving, as well as the fact that society as a whole seems to be warming up to the idea that we are being visited. Even former skeptics are beginning to change their mind, and believers like myself are starting to be taken more seriously for it than in years past. In this video, I wanted to share a recent article published in my local newspaper, the Greensboro News and Record. I was surprised to learn in it that my home state of North Carolina ranks 11th in the nation for the number of reported UFO sightings. After that, I wanted to share a couple news clips about the UFO phenomenon that recently aired on national news. I have to wonder, is this all leading to the disclosure of what the government really knows about UFOs? Is 2018 the year that the masses will finally learn the truth about what's really going on? Seen a UFO? If you live in North Carolina, join the club, National UFO Center says. The truth about UFOs is out there, especially in the clear blue skies of North Carolina. Get this, North Carolina is just outside the top 10 list of states for UFO sightings, according to the National UFO Reporting Center in Davenport, Washington. The center lists 2,822 UFO sightings in North Carolina since the 1940s, just after Michigan's 2,913. California tops the list with 13,199 sightings, followed by Florida with 6,252 and Washington with 5,711. Well, there's always next year. Over time, a number of reports to the center have originated from Greensboro and the surrounding area. A woman in Snow Camp said a UFO circled her house. A father and son in Reedsville thought they saw a UFO losing power. A Burlington teenager in 1973 claims he saw a massive UFO hovering above the trees. Quote, "I felt no fear, just awe," unquote. As you might expect, many of the sightings happen at night, although just last week a person in Hickory was fixing a cup of coffee around 6 a.m. when they saw a, quote, "sparkling light stopping and starting in the early morning sky," unquote. From Mebane to Asheboro to Thomasville, witnesses usually report seeing objects that look like discs, rectangles, or cigars for seconds, sometimes minutes at a time. They typically have these encounters from the relative safety of their homes, yards, or cars. They have occurred as far back as 1945 in Winston-Salem, a brief encounter that left a lasting impression, and as recently as January in Greensboro. That's when a commuter said they saw, quote, "lights streaking across the sky zooming down to the earth," unquote, for about 10 minutes around 8:45 p.m. Quote, "I also saw aircraft all over as if they were looking for something," unquote. From Brown Summit, October 27, quote, "phenomenal sighting of 12 orange balls of light in the night sky as they slowly combined and faded away," unquote. And from High Point, December 2016, "I was driving home and noticed some sort of craft way down the road. As I got closer, I noticed that it wasn't moving. It was like nothing I've seen or heard described. But seeing seems to be close as area residents have gotten, according to the center's reports. There are no close encounters of the third kind, or crop circles, or mutilated cattle, or abductions." The center includes this disclaimer on its site. Obvious hoaxes have been omitted, however, most reports have been posted exactly as received in the author's own words. Charlotte, March 3rd, 7:15 p.m. a couple reported seeing a large number of bright orange balls whizzing silently north to south towards Charlotte Douglas International Airport. According to the witness, quote, "They were in a straight line as far as I could see," unquote, the man reported to the center. Quote, "From left to right, the sky was full of them. I would say about 15 to 20 orbs. It was mind-blowing." In a note at the end of the online report, the center wrote, quote, "We speak via telephone with this witness, and he sounded to us to be quite sincere and sober-minded. We suspect that he is a highly reliable witness," unquote. Organizations such as the Committee for the Scientific Investigation of Claims of the Paranormal have spent many decades debunking such sightings. Quote, "Mankind is just beginning to awaken to the fact that we appear to have guests, and they appear to be here on a frequent basis," unquote, said Peter Davenport, director of the National UFO Reporting Center. "The truth is out there, somewhere."
UFOs have captivated the public interest for decades, but they've always been dismissed, including by me, as the province of wackos. But that is changing thanks to some remarkable videotape and first-hand accounts from very sober people who are trained to identify aircraft. And that would include this video. It shows two Navy pilots encountering something bizarre off the east coast of the United States. Watch this.
Echo 61 Tango, Smile J Bravo. Roger, there's troubleshooting. She needs like...
Did you box moving target?
602.
No, I took an auto track. Oh, okay. Oh my gosh, dude. Wow.
Okay, these are guys who fly for a living, who know what other airplanes look like, including those maintained by foreign governments, and they're totally shocked by this. This is one among many incidents like it, including many that have happened in the middle of the day to sober people, lots of independent witnesses at the same event, commercial pilots, military pilots, O'Hare Airport in the afternoon. None of them have obvious explanations. These are aircraft, apparently, that are moving in ways that appear to violate physics, that are flying very differently from any aircraft ever observed, and way faster than any plane that we know any foreign country has. What is this? Well, we don't know, because for some reason the Defense Department is not interested in finding out.
Out front now, the former Pentagon military official who ran the covert government program up until this last November, Luis Elizondo. Luis, thank you so much for your time tonight. I mean, first, tell us what the purpose of the program was and why it was so secretive.
Sure. The purpose of the program, Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program, was really designed to do just that. From a national security perspective, identify those things that we see, whether we see them electro-optically, we see them with radar, we see them as eyewitness reports, through a myriad of different ways and avenues that we receive the information, and try to ascertain and determine if that information is a potential threat to national security, in a nutshell.
So what did you find?
Well, we found a lot. I think what's important is that we have identified some very, very interesting, anomalous type of aircraft. Let's call them aircraft. Things that don't have any obvious flight surfaces, any obvious forms of propulsion, and maneuvering in ways that include extreme maneuverability beyond, I would submit, the healthy G-forces of a human or anything biological. Hypersonic velocities, low observability, positive lift, again, seemingly in defying the laws of aerodynamics. When I ran this program, I was fundamentally looking at, my colleagues looking at two things.
Yeah. What
is it and how does it work? We have deliberately stayed away from going down the rabbit hole of who's behind the wheel and what are their intentions.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people have a lot of feelings towards that and are very emotional about that. And what I wanted to do is to allow the data to speak for itself and then use that data to inform leadership senior DoD leadership about the potential threat that these type of technologies pose to national security, especially over any type of controlled airspace that we might have.
The question, do you believe that life from somewhere else, while you ran this program, came here, visited, observed?
I will tell you unequivocally that through the observation, scientific methodologies that were applied to look at this phenomena, that these aircraft, we'll call them aircraft, are displaying characteristics that are not currently within the U.S. inventory, nor in any foreign inventory that we are aware of.
So I know you're being clear, but I mean, the answer is yes.
I can't speak on behalf of the government. Obviously, I'm not in the U.S. government anymore. My personal belief is that there is very compelling evidence that we may not be alone, whatever that means. We may not be alone, whatever that means.
Hey everyone, Drew here from Mad Cat Mysteries, and I hope you enjoyed the video you just watched. If you did, you can click on the subscribe button below. I'd appreciate it. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.